What's up, YouTube? I'm back for my fourth video here in my whole series of Zero to Private Pilot. As I said before, I'm starting my journey into being, or trying to be a private pilot. And I ran into some obstacles, as far as COVID, finding a CFI, finding a home to actually do the training, and as well I've dealt with some sickness a little bit in my first discovery. Well, I didn't do a discovery flight, my first hour of flight, because I told you, what I'm saying, I've been watching YouTube left and right, and I wanted to actually do my first hour of actually training, and that's what I started with. So check out my little cool shirt, Family Guy. I'm gonna try to bring you guys some cool shirts here and there. Um, I just like cool shirts. I'm a little halfway, IT computer geek nerd and stuff. So that's just things I do. Anyways, this past weekend, I spent my first 3 days actually training, and the first day, I couldn't even get to fly. So what I did was I talked to my CFI and I said, "Hey, is it all right if I get in the plane and just taxi it around the airport a little bit since we can't go up?" So he said, "Yeah, that's what you want to do. Sure, have at it." So he's like, your money. So we hopped in the plane and I taxied the plane around. And like I said before, if you don't know about anything about aviation, which I didn't until of course I went on that first flight, is I didn't know that when the taxi on the ground, the plane is steered by your rudder pedals. And then each one of your feet controls a brake, controls the left brake on the rear, I guess main wheel, I think it's called, and then your right foot controls the brake on the main wheel on the right side. So if you need to make a sharp right turn or sharp left turn, you got to apply the brake while you're pushing the pedal to, in, and it's a little cumbersome, I guess to say, to kind of mess with right now. I'm not used to it, and sometimes my mind can't react that fast. So a lot of times when I'm taxiing slow, I don't want to make a mistake and think I want to go left and push the pedal right. So right now I'm kind of taxiing real slow, so I don't really like add too much power in. Once I get a little power in or whatever, and the plane starts rolling, I immediately pull it back out. Like so, I'm really moving maybe I don't know, 4 miles per hour or something like that. But it's better to be safe than sorry and tear the plane up later. So the next day we went up actually, and he took off the plane, of course, because I have zero experience taking planes off, and we went up, think to about 4,000 feet, and then he told me to take controls. So he wanted to see how I control the plane, and so he was like, "Okay, we're gonna fly at 4,000 altitude. Keep playing at 4,000." So I pretty much just drove straight, flew straight for a couple minutes, and then he was like, "Okay, well, I want you to do a climb at a VX speed." And I probably should have reviewed it before I actually looked at this video. Um, I don't really know what all the VX speeds are. I know there's like three. I just know they have to deal with the best rate of something. It'd be like the best rate of climb, best rate of descent, best rate of something. But anyways, of course, I learned that, and hopefully I'll be able to tell you guys later on without no problem. But anyways, it's always got like the best rate of something. And he was like, "Okay, I want you to, I believe it was VY speed." And don't quote me, guys. It's not a training video. I'm just saying. I believe he said VY. So, you pull back and there's a little indicators, a little G5 Garmin, little like looks like a little steam, or it's an electronic steam gauge, but it has like everything in one. And you can pull back and you can see the speed go, and you see like the letters scroll down on the left side. And I had to maintain being within the range of the VY speed, which is I guess the best rate of climb. Let me explain it. He wanted me to do the best rate to climb. I'm not sure if it's VY, VX, or V, whatever the third one is. But he said, to me to maintain that speed. So I pulled back, try to maintain it. Very difficult for me. I was either going up, down, or whatever. Like it was really kind of up and down for me. So I really couldn't really maintain that very, very well. So then we actually went to another airport. Actually went out towards Camden, South Carolina for a while, and then we came back. And and that was pretty much the end of that lesson for that day. And then we went back up again, and this time he had me going in the pattern. So we flew around the pattern a little bit. He talked about it, talked about every airport has a different altitude, what they call it, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't say different altitude, a different sea level altitude. So every place has that same. I mean, every city, everything like that. So like in aviation, they use two types of measurements for altitude. They use MSL, which is mean sea level, and then above ground level. So most time when you're flying, of course above ground level because you don't want to just fly into the ground. But most airports have what they say they're sitting so many feet above sea level. So when you come into the pattern, most patterns, to my knowledge, are 1,000 feet above ground, and so therefore the airport I'm at sits at like I think it's 396 feet above ground, above sea level. So they rounded to 400 and 1,000 plus that. So their pattern altitude is 1,400 feet. So he kind of quizzed me a little bit on things like that. And like I said, I learned a little bit of stuff, a lot of little things here and there from just watching YouTube videos and just listening to guys talk, aviation and stuff like that. So was able to answer that. And he's like, oh, pretty cool, that, whatever. So we went out on the pattern a few times and landed the plane, and when we took off again, I kind of started feeling my stomach feeling a little funny again. So we flew. I didn't really say anything to him. I think he might have knew that I wasn't feeling very well. But flew out, continue on. I just toughed it out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not going to punk out on this thing. I'm really going to try to get through this, and I'm really going to push through and try to get this. So flew out some more, and like I said, he had me do the controls, maybe let me do a few turns, and nothing real harsh, I guess, maneuver-wise, but just plain fly straight, climb, descend, turn, and then took me to the pattern. We were on the pattern. We did a full stop landing, came back. He took off again, went to the pattern, and then we came back and we landed. And that was pretty much our whole time flying. I did explain to him as well, as I explained the first CFI, that I was getting a little queasy, a little sick. Like it felt like I ate like some bricks were just sitting in the bottom of my stomach. And I never really thrown up from being sick. I mean, flu or whatever. I don't really like throw up, but I felt the feel of that, just feeling heavy on my stomach. And so he simply laughed, like not really laughed, but he just kind of smirked. He's like, you get over it. He said the first time I flew, he said I jumped in the plane. He said I sat in the back seat though, and he said I literally threw up in the plane my first time flying. And I mean, he's flying with me now, and he's just sitting there, calm as can be. There's nothing going to happen, and I'm just almost sweating, palm sweating and stuff like that, because I'm flying a plane now, and I'm like, oh my God, what could happen? So, anyways, first flight, I guess. Well, this is actually first flight weekend. Went pretty well, I think. Overall, I like it. But the main thing is just gotta get past that sickness. I didn't really run into any new problems or anything, or any new experiences that I want to share outside of the cockpit right now. So far, like I said, the actual airfield is only 20 minutes from where I'm staying, so that's like great, what I'm saying, because I can just jump on the highway, and it's outside of the city, so I'm going away from the city instead of going into the city where everybody's at. But so far so good. I'm going to go back next weekend, so wish me luck, and hopefully I have some new information for you guys. All right, have a nice day.